So I would like to start talking about what is free will. Isn't it also a concept that has been linked to religion as a thing that people use to justify the evil in the world, right? We've all heard that they say, oh, evil in the world is not because God is bad, it's because there's free will. And the humans, they decide to act wrongly about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two things going on there. So one is, what's the idea of free will? And then to think, do you need religion to have this idea or to ground this idea? I think the idea of free will is that the basic idea is that you have the power of choice. And that means that there's forks in the road. And you can choose which fork you're going to go. Am I going to go down this road or the road less taken, if you take the Robert Frost poem? And it's up to you, which means everything that came before, what in philosophy will be called all the antecedent factors, they're not what determine which road you take. You determine it in the moment by your choice. Mm-hmm. That's what, if you have free will, it means you have that power. Right. And then there's the issue, to have that power, you have to have some kind of religious view. That if you were just scientific and viewed the world as completely governed by natural causes, there would be no free will. And somehow it's religion injects this power into man, into the individual human being, and that's what then allows him, he could choose an evil path. But I think you have to disassociate those two ideas. You can have a view of free will, and certainly Ayn Rand had a view of free will that's natural, scientific, not at all religious.
Right.
One way this question sometimes comes up is because, and Onkar alluded to this, that the popular view is that free will would have to be something magical, it would have to be something supernatural. Many contemporary thinkers don't think it makes sense on a scientific worldview, but I would actually go a little further than what you were already suggesting, Onkar, and say that I don't think free will makes sense on a religious worldview. Okay. When you believe in a divine being who is allegedly all-powerful and all-knowing, and who created you and who created the entire universe, there's a serious question of, he's supposed to then know everything that you're going to do with your life. And he could stop you from doing it if he wanted to because he's all-powerful. So how is it that you still have free will in that kind of situation? And this is a problem that religious thinkers have grappled with for many years, because I think ordinary people have the conviction, and I think a good one, that they are in control of their life. And so there's then effort on the behalf of theologians to try to reconcile, how could someone actually have control of their life if there's this all-powerful being looking over them? And they come up with a variety of different devices and kind of rationalizations to reconcile those. I think they're all a big stretch, and I don't think really any of them work at the end of the day.
Right. I have here the paradox of Epicurus that says if God can prevent evil, but he's not capable, then he's not omnipotent. Now, if he's capable, but he doesn't desire to do it, then he is mean. Yeah. Now, if he's capable and he wishes to do it, well, where does evil come from? Now, if he's not capable and he doesn't wish to, why would we call him God? And this is Epicurus talking about not even the Christian God, like the gods before. And that's the thing, like you were pointing out, if we have free will, then what's the role of the gods in, choosing our destiny?
And the way that the debate usually breaks down is that you either have to, somebody who's trying to reconcile it, they either have to take away some power that's popularly associated with God, like his foreknowledge or his all-powerful nature, or they have to water down the concept of free will. They have to take away the idea, for example, Onkar said it's like a forking path. They'll say, well, we don't really face a forking path, but we're free in the sense that we're doing what we want to do, even if God's the one who made us want to do it in the first place. And so it ends up watering down the idea of freedom, and it's not really what people think they have.
And there's a real connection between the religious view and the scientific view. The scientific view says I can look at the antecedent factors and tell in advance, this is what you're going to do. And that means you don't really have a choice about it. If someone can tell before you're even doing anything, you're going to order steak at the restaurant, then it's not really a choice. It was determined by the antecedent factors. And the religious view says God can say what you're going to do. He's all-knowing, so he can tell in advance, you're going to go to the restaurant at 7:28 and you're going to order chicken and you're going to spill your glass of water. And if all that's said in advance, what does it mean that you have any free will? And that's why religion, both views are saying you don't really have the power of choice.
Right.
There's another twist on that, which is that both of those views, both the religious view and the sort of materialistic view, there's a kind of faith that there's actually some way of knowing that. I mean, obviously, with the religious view, you have to believe that God exists and that he has all these powers. But even with the allegedly scientific view, there's this conviction, well, we'll have to be able to predict people's decisions. Now, in fact, nobody's ever done it.
Right.
And all the evidence that's been collected so far suggests that there's certain parts of our life that we just can't explain without reference to choice.